everyone. My name is Alison Woodall and I'm a relocation coach. I know that moving to a new state is incredibly stressful, so I created my Make the Move online guide to help you through the process. Through a series of short videos and check sheets, I will show you how to find the perfect town, calculate your budget, find a home, a job, healthcare and schools, and then I'll help you manage the anxiety and doubt that you'll feel as you pack up and leave. Because I know when you have a step-by-step plan that takes care of every issue, you can stop worrying and focus instead on the amazing life that you'll lead in your new state. And today I am very excited to talk to Andrea, who's a realtor in Weatherford, Texas. Andrea, welcome.
Thank you for having me today.
Well, I am really excited to talk to you because your area is somewhere that I absolutely love. But before we start talking about Weatherford, I would love to know a little bit about you because you're not a Texas native, are you? You were born in Southern California.
No, yes, I'm from Southern California, Riverside, and so are my partners, Tracy and Brandy. We're all agents out in this area, and we're all from Southern California, doing real estate out there, and then bringing it out here, and just absolutely loving it.
Wonderful. Well, do you mind me asking, what was it that made you leave Southern California for Texas?
Well, basically the politics and everything else, like everyone else is feeling. And at the time, my son was 4 years old, and I just felt I needed to move and raise him somewhere better.
And was Texas everything that you hoped it would be? Are you living the Texas dream?
We absolutely love it. My son is thriving. I'm able to send him to public schools now. The schools are great, small class sizes. He's an outdoors boy. We have a couple acres, so he's riding the dirt bikes, doing all the things with friends outside, just loving life right now.
Well, that's wonderful. And what was it that made you choose Texas particularly? Was it the weather? Was it the cost of living? Was it the Texas attitude? What made you decide Texas rather than another state?
Definitely just for what Texas stands for. The children, they're brought up to respect people more. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. It's a Bible Belt state. So for us, that was good for us. And we came from Southern California where we had horses and all the things. So Weatherford's more of a rural town, and it's the cutting horse capital of the world. So we felt this was home for us, and we came out to visit in January and then July when it was hot, just to see if we loved it. And we absolutely fell in love and put an offer in and had a home built on 2 acres, and it was the right move for us.
Wow, so you really are an expert. If you built a house, so you didn't just buy one, you built it, so you know all about that.
Right.
And I love what you say about seeing it in winter and seeing it in summer, because so many people go and visit an area and they only visit it in the most perfect weather. And then when the yucky weather hits, they're surprised and they're like, I don't know if I like this place.
Yes, they need to definitely come July, August, and then for other town in the heart of the winter and check it out to see if they like it and they can put up with it.
Yeah, well, so while we're talking about weather, so for someone who doesn't know Texas very well, where are you located in Texas?
We're North Texas. We're about 30 minutes from Fort Worth and about an hour from Dallas. So we're surrounded by more country towns. There's a lot of lakes out here. There's lots of ranches. There's a lot of cattle, horses, and it's just more of a country feel and more rural than, say, if you went to Fort Worth where it's like cookie cutter houses. Out here, you could get a little bit of land and have a more affordable lifestyle.
Okay, but then you still have the advantage of being, an hour or 30 minutes from a big, metro area. If you're looking for transportation, if you're looking for big city life.
And Weatherford has, we have Target and Walmart, so we have 4 grocery stores and Home Depot and all the things. So, and there's other towns around us that don't have that, but then we're only 15 minutes from there. They could just easily come here if they like that lifestyle, more quiet, peaceful life.
Well, perfect. And what does the area look like? Because I know Texas is so vast that it's, such a diverse landscape. And I know the further west you get in Texas, it gets very kind of desert-like. Are you on the plains?
Yes.
Do you have hills? Do you have trees? What is your kind of landscape like?
There's some areas that have the hills, but it's mostly you're just driving and going, and there's no traffic. You're just going, you just see absolute fields of green and trees and cattle. Sometimes I pull over just to take video or just to wave to the cattle or say hi. It's so surreal and so beautiful to me that everything's just green and just trees.
Beautiful. Well, wonderful. So it's obviously very beautiful. You've got an amazing lifestyle. So let's talk a little bit about your market. So if someone were, you obviously presumably have a range of properties. So like you could have a high-end house or you could have a ranch. Do you have kind of like an average price point in your market?
Probably just for a normal average house, it's in the 300s. If you want a little bit of land right now, we'll actually have a listing right now that's $398 on 2 acres. So, I mean, that's not bad if you consider it's on 2 acres. If you want 10 acres more, it's going to be a little bit more, of course. But I recently sold a couple of brand new homes on 1 acre for the mid 200s. So there are still affordable deals to be had. But if you're not looking for a little bit of land, you could get something really nice in the 300s.
Wow. And when you say that, is that a newer property, or is that like a 1970s property, or does it just vary?
No, it varies, but there's a lot of new builds that are in the 300s around here that are on just a standard size lot right now, but they're in the 300s and they're brand new. I feel like a lot of the clients, especially coming from California, want a brand new home right now.
Yes. So. Well, I right now I live in the house that my husband grew up in, and we were in California in a brand new home, didn't have to do anything to it, which was amazing. And then we moved back to this house that we lived in for 15 years. And when you buy an older house, there's just so much that you have to, just painting it and new siding and just fixing things up and new roofs, that we agreed for our next move, it's going to be new construction, or at least, within 4 or 5 years old. So I absolutely get that. Well, wonderful. And so talk to me about, you have no state income tax. So obviously the government has to get their money somehow. So you have no state income tax, but you do have slightly higher property taxes. What are your property taxes like?
I'm seeing mostly around 2%. Okay. So, but it does vary from county to county, because out here the property taxes do pay for the schools. So you'll see that when you go to the schools, they're absolutely beautiful, and they have everything, like I said, smaller class sizes. My son's class last year had 16 kiddos in it. So, I mean, to me, that's excellent. And so you pay for, so it's very important to research the areas, and your realtor can help you do that, of the areas you want to live in, and see what those property taxes are.
When I think about where my taxes go, it's roads as well. Now, I think of Texas roads as big and open and straight, and Texas is so easy to get around. And is that your experience too?
Yes. Oh yes, I found it so, I mean, I'm used to seeing trash everywhere in California. Here you're just driving on beautiful roads, and I don't see all the trash surrounded. You don't see the transient people from where I'm from in the country. It's just such a different life. It's so different out here, and people are just, like I said, kind, respect. There's people will jump to help you, or you're moving something heavy. You meet all your neighbors within the first few days, and you become like family, and they see you doing something, building something, they run over and help immediately. Like we were just doing this wall that we made at my house last week, and a neighbor came over, they just grab a paintbrush and start helping. I'm like, it's just so wonderful that people are so kind out here.
I always think that there's the North and the South, and then there's Texas. And Texas has this totally different mentality. It really is that cowboy mentality where something happens, it doesn't matter what it is, but they're pioneers, they're going to get it done, they're going to figure out a way, and they are independent. They don't need the government to step in and help them in most situations. Like when that huge winter storm came through unexpectedly, I was like, it's Texas. Yeah. They'll be fine. Everyone has a chainsaw and a big truck. They'll be able to deal with everything, and they did.
Yeah, they don't call for help. Someone's going to pull off the road, and they're going to jump and start helping you. Or there was houses around us didn't have water. We had water, so you're filling up buckets, giving your neighbors. You're just helping them, and that's the neighbor thing to do out here.
Well, wonderful. Okay, so you have, in Weatherford, you have all the amenities. You have schools, great connectivity with roads and everything. Yeah. Presumably, Dallas-Fort Worth, would that be your nearest airport for transportation if people have relatives in a different state who want to fly and visit them?
Yeah, it's about an hour away, the airport.
Okay, and it's an excellent airport. I flew in and out of Dallas-Fort Worth maybe 50 times in my life.
It's so easy, right? It's so easy and clean just to get in there. It's wonderful.
Well, perfect. So what about employment particularly in the Weatherford area? What are your main employers?
We have a lot of construction companies, electricians. I know a lot of teachers are needed right now, nurses and everything. There's just like everything. And a lot of people also from here commute to, say, Fort Worth, since it's only like 30 minutes. There's a lot of oil business out here, whether it's in Dallas or Midland or something. A lot of people are in the oil industry, engineers. So there's a lot of, just like everywhere else, there's a lot of opportunity right now for employment.
Excellent. Yeah. And I mean, a 30-minute commute, and it's an easy 30-minute commute, makes it very easy to live that out in the countryside kind of lifestyle with your horses and your little ranch, but still be able to travel in and have a decent job. Oh, and recreation. So you mentioned, obviously, you're out and there's beautiful plains and trees. Do you have lakes? Do you have rivers? Because the people who leave the California coast are always worried about not being near the ocean.
Oh, yes. Well, Weatherford has tons of lakes. All the towns around us have lakes. There's Possum Kingdom, which to me is kind of like Lake Havasu, which is not far from California, that people travel to. And we have in Granbury, which is about 30 minutes from Weatherford, has a very huge lake. They have a little beach area. They have a historical town. It's also more pockets of rural, but it also has all the amenities and all the stores and restaurants and great food and everything. So out here, there's a lot of lakes for fishing. We have the Brazos River that runs across there. I mean, they recently were filming Yellowstone out in Weatherford, Fort Worth, and Granbury, so that was exciting at the 4 Sixes Ranch. So it's real big out here. We have a lot of like rodeo stars, and it's real big, and going to the rodeo is a big thing out here.
What you said, cutting horses, was that what you called them?
It's just another thing when it's another like competition in the rodeo, like cutting or roping or barrel racing. So there's a lot of people that do that out here in towns surrounding here. So it's real big. So you'll run into celebrities out here and famous people that do that. So, but my partners specialize in horse and ranch properties and farm and ranch and everything. So they sell a lot of big acreage where it's like 10 to 100 acres out here, and people are bringing all their cattle and horses from California.
Wow, that's a big undertaking. That's a lot of, cattle trucks. I talked to a lady, last year about how she'd moved all her animals she did it herself from California to Wyoming in a snowstorm, and her truck broke down.
Oh gosh.
So,
I need a pig. Yeah.
It can be done, but it takes a lot of planning.
It may take a few trips, lots of planning and a little stressful at times, but once you're here, you're going to be very grateful for it, and it's worth it.
Well, wonderful. Well, so what else? Is there anything that we haven't covered that you would like to talk a little bit more about?
Well, just that my partners and I, since we are from Southern California, we've been there, we've done the move, we know what it's like, so we know how stressful it is. And so we do a lot of virtual tours for our clients from California, and we also will virtually tour the neighborhood and areas, because it is hard and you can't come out here every time you want to see a home. We're there for you. If you can't make the inspection or the walkthroughs, we'll video it, we'll call you, we'll keep you updated. You're building a new home, I'm going to constantly send pictures, so because they don't get to be here to watch it happen, so we got to keep them in the loop, and they just absolutely love it. It's a great feeling to help people come from California like we've done ourselves. It's just a great feeling to help somebody escape California, basically.
Well, wonderful. And I know that, most of the people watching this video are from California, but do you help anyone, from other states? Presumably California is your focus, yes. But anybody could come to you if they find you on the YouTube channel and they're not moving from California.
Oh, absolutely. I have clients right now that I met at an open house that are coming from Colorado. My partner helped some people move and buy a ranch from Virginia. So they're coming from everywhere. So it's just real nice to help people.
Yeah, well, wonderful. And something I didn't ask you about is like your inventory level. Are you seeing that inventory levels are increasing and that your market is slowing a little bit, or are you still going crazy and you have low inventory?
No, absolutely. It's done the shift. It's slowing a lot. Builders are starting to offer those incentives again, and there's much more inventory now. It's great. Maybe not so good for the sellers, but for our buyers, they have ample opportunities. There's more negotiating, and so there's a lot more inventory, and the prices have gone down a tiny bit out here. So it's really good.
Well, wonderful. I was reading an article that said that the prices aren't necessarily going to go down. They're just not going to increase as kind of crazy.
Right.
And so that the market is just going back to kind of like the new normal, which, as you say, is excellent for buyers.
Yes. I love it. I love that it's normalizing and the buyers can look and they don't have to feel pressured and they can get the house that they want and keep looking until they find that one.
Okay, well, that's wonderful. So if someone wants to move to Weatherford, because you've convinced me, I want to move to Weatherford, what is the best way for someone to contact you?
Give us a call, text, email, anything. I mean, we do a lot of North Texas. We do Granbury, we do Fort Worth area, we do Mineral Wells and Poolville and Peaster, and we do all the towns around here. So,
and what's the best number to call you on?
817-304-7562.
Okay, and do you have an email address that you can give everybody that they can then email you?
Yes, I do. It's Andrea at theplatinumgrouptx.com.
Perfect. And I will put all of those links in the comments wherever everybody is watching this video. Well, I really appreciate you talking with me. I love Texas. It's one of my favorite states. So, you know, you just got me excited about it again.